I just want to sit down and chat. I don't have a episode title in mind. Obviously there's one at the time of you listening to this, but I don't have an episode title in mind. I just want to talk literally exactly what I'm thinking and feeling. I'm just adjusting the camera. I'm literally sitting on the floor of my bedroom because I just want to chat about a little bit of everything, and I just want you to hold me in it. And if it gets a bit ranty and it goes in circles, I just want you to enjoy the process of, I'm just kind of like talking off the top of my head, and it might not make sense and I might contradict myself, but like that is also perfect and fine. And I really, really, really want to talk about feeling constantly overwhelmed, the nervous system side of things. And before you like think, fuck, I don't want to hear it, like hear me out, because I used to also think that anything nervous system was super woo-woo. Anything talking about breath work or sound baths, or anything to do with that, I'd be like, that is so weird, like judgmental vibes, right? I'd be like, that is so weird, like I would never do that. But like reality is, we don't realize how much we need that stuff until you're literally drowning. But when we're drowning, we can't even identify that we're drowning and we're struggling. And I'm going to give you an example of this. Anytime I'm feeling extremely overwhelmed in something, anytime I'm feeling like I can't like breathe, I'm drowning, I'm like, whoa, this is a lot, I know what needs to happen. I know that I need to go and take a breath. I know I need to get off my phone, lay flat, take a breather. But I also know that in those moments, that is the hardest thing to do. You can know something and at the same time not put that into practice. You can know how to do something, you can know how to be across something and be aware of like, okay, I'm feeling these things and I know I need to do X, but I actually physically cannot get myself to do X because I feel so overwhelmed that even doing the thing that I know I need to do feels overwhelming and all-consuming right now, right? So I want to talk all things doing a little bit of a nervous system reset and feeling paralyzed by the simple tasks, because I know myself, there's particular days of the week that it's a big day for me, whether I have 101 things on in my calendar, whether I'm in with all of my clients, which I never realized before being, oh, my phone is ringing. Let's do a pause. Wow, first of all, that is my lesson to put my phone on Do Not Disturb and turn my volume off. But that also, I'll just give you a little spoiler. We have been doing some things behind the scenes in the podcast. I'm hoping that you guys are almost knowing about it, but I've had to do a whole bunch of stuff for like setup and stuff, and I'm having technical difficulties. So I threw in the towel and I was like, I'm just not going to set it up that way. And then my partner was calling me to figure out if I figured it out. The answer is no. Anyway, feeling paralyzed by like really simple tasks where, you know, when you're like feeling really overwhelmed, so you're like, I'm just going to go like lay down and scroll my phone. And then your phone is not giving you the dopamine that you're wanting, not doing anything for you. So you go from like app to app to app to app. You're bored on TikTok. You're bored on Instagram. Like you're just feeling bored and overwhelmed and sick of life. Yeah. That is when you're feeling literally paralyzed and you don't know what to do. And in those situations, even though it feels fucking terrible, you have to get up and do something for yourself and your breath work. Not go talk to someone else, not go like work out, not go do your steps, none of those things. Like you actually need to get your journal out, get off your phone, lay down, like get in the mode. And I know that it can feel really, really guilty as well, because even though we're going from app to app to app, we probably have 15 billion unread messages, 101 red little dots in the corner of the apps consuming our whole entire lives. And I'm guilty for this, where I'm like, I read a message and I'm like, oh, I don't want to get in like a full conversation right now. Like I'll respond to that later, and then later doesn't come. And then that adds to the overwhelm because we're adding little tabs and tasks at the back of our brain. And the reason I figured out I was kind of guilty for this is I have a lot of tabs that I keep open on my laptop. And then my partner was like, what the fuck? Why do you have 101 tabs open? Like, no wonder your laptop shut itself. Like, remember, I don't know, 6 months ago when my laptop like fully was shitting itself? Yeah. He was like, I'm not even surprised. And I was like, shut the fuck up. But it literally, me having every single thing open is like literally just consuming energy in the back of my brain, like it consumes energy in a laptop. And I think I just never realized that when I was younger. I feel like we always got told like, more is more, not less is more. And you see it now. So many like people, CEOs, high achieving people like push for more. The funny thing is it's always men. And I'm like a man hater, so I'm about to hate on a man. But they're not built the same as women. And I always stick by this. I feel like I hear less and less people talk about it now. And I think it's because males think because we want more equality, especially with the fucking pay gap, that we want to be treated equal in all of the things. And I'm like, no, but we also aren't built the same as you. It is genetically proven facts that men are stronger than females. That's facts. So I don't know why they always try to compare in things like that. You're not even built the same. Like, structurally, we're not even built the same. And then don't even get me started on like our cycles. They're literally refreshing every single day. They're having what are meant to be once a fucking quarter, if that. Meanwhile, we're on like a 28-day cycle, if we're regular and all of the things. Obviously, everyone's different, but I think even now, like everyone figuring out, so many females getting answers with having endo, having PCOS, having PMDD, and like, oh, I actually shouldn't want to kill myself when it comes to my cycle week or the week before my cycle week and things like that. I don't know how I got on this topic. See, this is why I said you have to just hold me in being like, I'm going to be all over the place, but this is the inside of my brain on this topic. But I just find it really frustrating that there's no talk on like actually doing breath work. I've never been introduced to breath work ever. Why didn't we talk about it in school? Why is it not a thing? Like, I understand it's a bit woo-woo and different and stuff like that, but like, even hold me within this, but like even the Chinese herbal medicines and stuff like that, I've only heard negative things. But like, did these people even go? Probably not. They're just talking shit about it because it's not mainstream. But how do we get this type of stuff in the education system? Like, I don't think it's ever going to be a thing. They're going to be holding on to the same shit forever. And I was talking to one of my clients about this yesterday, about how like history is so, they just hold on to the same stories and facts all the time. They never anything new, or if it is, it's like they've probably been flogging COVID for the last 7 years. I would have hated to be doing my HSC in that era, because like literally all I can imagine is like society and culture and history and all that, then being like, okay, like talk about how COVID's going to affect this and that. I remember once at school, they literally made us do a paper on what we think is going to change robotically and like that type of way in a few years. And I'm like, nothing moves that fast in Australia. We literally don't even have fast Wi-Fi. We literally only just got 5G. Like we literally have, personally, my Wi-Fi is dog shit. So I think that there's going to be a robot roaming around soon? No, we can't even get 2-lane traffic where I live. We still are living in 1-lane traffic, so I don't think that there's going to be robots taking over. In saying that, I saw the Chinese New Year like lunar performance. I think it was in China, and they had the robots doing backflips and shit. But that is so China coded. That's never going to happen here. Like we literally, as I said, can't even get a fucking cellular tower. We can't even get 2 lanes of traffic. We can't even get a local Coles. You guys already know I'm driving half an hour for Coles. Like, I know this is like a fucking state government versus like local government issue and all of the things. But I just think with all the bullshit that goes on, no wonder we're also overwhelmed. And like, we're always holding on to all these things in the past, but like we never actually deep dive into like what it actually looks like. I want to see a study on what it actually looks like for someone who is a high performing male versus a high performing female. What's the difference in the breakdown of the cycles? What's the difference in the breakdown of like their nervous system and how they're feeling? Because yes, facts, girls are more emotional. That is facts. We don't like being confronted with facts about feeling some type of way. We don't like being told we're emotional. We don't like being like compared to a man, but then equally, like when we strip it all back, it is facts, and we shouldn't be on this equal playing field. And I think that is probably where the problem has stemmed of why nervous system work isn't recognized in corporate places or schools, because what's it all run by? Men. Who created it all? Men. Old crusty dusty men. Like, tell me why the syllabus and the curriculums haven't even changed. And this includes like uni as well. They're flogging the same shit from forever ago. And I know some things like always say the same, like think of like criminal law. It's very much like embedded in everything we do, but then people are getting more psychotic. People are literally getting crazier and crazier, and then they don't even adapt with the laws, or it takes such a struggle for them to adapt with the laws. Like thinking about, I don't know how we're getting here. I'm so sorry. I'm disclaimering so much, but like, anyway, how Victoria just introduced naming youth for crimes because there was so much youth crime. They didn't want to protect the juvenile identity under 18 anymore. But like no one ever follows suit. Why did New South Wales not follow suit? Why can't we just all like do the same thing? I don't know. This is not a political podcast, but I just think it is so interesting how it's all fucking male backed for starters. They never want to make change unless they're like literally like shoved to make change, and they prioritize more about making a fucking public holiday for Anzac Day because it's on the weekend than caring about anything else. And I'm just like, God forbid we actually teach people the importance of looking after the human behind the business or the human behind the career or whatever the thing may be, because my whole life you got to study so hard. And this is not just parents, but this is like literally societal influence, what you hear from teachers, what you hear from authority figures. You got to study so hard, you got to work X amount of hours a week, you got to do this, you got to do that, never looking after the human. And I actually think that less teens or early 20s would go out and drink and do all those destructive quote unquote things if there was some type of way to push them into wellness. And when I say push them in, introduce them to. I didn't know anything about recovery, like in terms of sauna and ice baths and all of those things. I didn't know anything about, even like massage guns and all of the things, like just actually showing them that you can look after yourself and put your energy into that. And I know like I guess a rebuttal of this could be like, oh, it's really expensive when you're younger and stuff like that. But like I've seen people try to create teen like fitness group classes. I saw this local lady is doing a sound bath. I actually really want to go, but it clashes with my schedule for work. But she's doing like sound bath sessions, and it's $30, I think, like $30. Like we can, that's really good for like someone young to just get in it and be in there. But also, I'm like always coming to terms with this as well. Everyone's so unserious when they're like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 even, just like so unserious about it all. I feel like they wouldn't take it seriously. But I think it would be really, really cool if they introduced that as like in sport. They could like collab with like a city cave or something and like take them there and get them to do like floats or saunas. And it could be like just girls only, for example. Like maybe they pay a bit more or whatever in their fucking school fees to cover it or whatever the fuck, or maybe they can create like a special membership or something like that. But I think that would be so fucking cool for just introducing younger girls to wellness and health and recovery and looking after your nervous system. But it would also be really fucking cool for just having an option outside of like, oh cool, we're gonna play fucking dodgeball. Like, I'm not playing fucking dodgeball, bro. Like, do I look like I want to come and play dodgeball? Literally, it's not set up for us females. It really fucking pisses me off, clearly. But we then feel a state of overwhelm constantly because we've never been taught any of these things of like, our nervous system is wired for safety. And if we're feeling unsafe, we're going to feel panicked and our heart is going to be racing. And we actually need to not break down in those situations and freeze. We need to lay down. We need to take a breath. We need to get off our phones. And like, honestly, something I've been doing recently is seeing how I feel. The other day, I felt like my heart was absolutely racing. And I was like, okay, like take a breath, hand on chest, feeling how I feel. And like taking a moment to actually seeing what I need, putting my phone down, especially when calling out that pattern, like, oh my God, I've gone on and off this app 101 times, put it down. Also, I know I've talked about this a lot. They need to sponsor me at this point, but Opal, I have the same schedule on every day. It blocks certain times every single day. And sometimes I like, if I need to see something, check something work related, I will take a break in that schedule. But otherwise, I'm off it. I'm working, I'm doing the things that I need to do. And I think a very big motto, and I've been talking about this a lot with some of my one-to-ones this year, is like just doing it anyway and doing the things you said you're gonna fucking do. Just doing it regardless. And it was funny because I was talking with someone literally last night and she was like, oh, I didn't think you were going to do it. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I'm literally that type of person that I just do it. I always do it. Yeah, I will never not do something. And it's going to feel uncomfortable and it's going to feel messy and it's going to feel all the fucking things, but you're going to regret more not doing those things. You're going to feel more unsafe, more shitty, more dysregulated by not just doing the things that you said you're going to do. Right? Gonna hold you to that. That's what I want you to bring into this year. And soon we're going to be touching base in like literally a month on how your goals are going. I said we're going to do the 90-day reset, 9-day check-in. We're going to be doing that literally so soon. So if you feel like you've been really holding yourself back, I want you to take this advice on and really lean in right now, because I'm going to be touching base with you guys in like a month. And I don't want to hear that you haven't achieved anything at all. I want to hear at least one thing achieved on your to-do list. I think as well right now, if you're thinking, fuck, well, I haven't, you actually can't force clarity from a dysregulated state. So starting with breath work, nervous system, leaning into how you're feeling internally before you go balls to the wall on those goals and be like, fuck, I've got a month to achieve 15,000 things because Jess just said that. No, because you can't actually force that clarity from a dysregulated state. And it's also just like doing a bit of like we're regulating, doing a little reset. We're not like doing a balls to the wall, got to start over vibes. So instead of how can I get everything done, I want you right now, or plan to do this later, because I know some of you girlies drive, walk, all of the things while listening to this. I want you to lay down, phone onto the side, hand on chest, and then just do your normal breaths and see how your breathing actually is. I think the thing for me as well, when I like didn't know much about it, is like I thought I had to breathe a certain way and I had to like inhale and exhale dramatically and all these things. But like actually first you need to get in tune with how you're actually breathing in the moment. And something I've been doing, and this is like literally not a plug. Yes, I love it. And yes, I have a discount code, but it's not, I just want to talk about it. With the Ultra Human, you can actually do breath work in the section of the app. So what I've been doing is going onto the breath work there. It's guided, that it tells you when to breathe, and then it tracks your heart rate in that, obviously, because it's a wearable tracker. And I'm like in, out, and then I can see how my heart rate is changing with my breaths as well, which I think is really, really cool. So if you have a watch or any like heart rate tracker, just seeing how your breath goes in that and seeing how it moves with your breaths is really, really important. I see so many of you as well in like health and fitness things, never breathing properly, always just like panic breathing and then holding your breath and forgetting to breathe and then having to breathe. So I think it will be a great way for you to as well learn how to breathe in your movements. And that goes for walking, that goes for yoga, that goes for Pilates, that goes for literally everything. Needing to know your breath in the movements, because that also determines your movement, right? Okay, so just seeing where you're at with the breaths. From there, I want you to write everything out, brain dump it on a journal, and then you're going to go back in, laying down. We're going to do the whole breakdown. So relaxing the eyes, unclenching the jaw, like hands to the side, just like relaxed down, dropping your shoulders away from your ears. Like we get very like tense and high and we start traveling up to our ears, relaxing them down, relaxing everything. And if you're wearing something tight, get it off, bitch. No way I could do this in I'm wearing a halter neck right now. No way could I fucking do this in a halter neck. Like halter neck is actually like, we're going to have neck pain. I don't even have big boobs. I don't even have boobs. And I'm like literally getting chronic neck pain from this fucking halter neck. So I don't know how the big titty girls do it, but no, you need to be wearing chill, flowy clothes. Do you ever like go out and you're like wearing tight clothes and you're like, I just want to get home and get these fucking tight clothes off me right now. And I used to think it was a thing because I was like 20 kilos heavier of like, oh my God, like I'm just too fat for this outfit. No. It's just overwhelming. I don't know how people are wearing tight skin clothes all the time. It's actually overwhelming. Okay, now that you've done that, I want you to go back to your brain dump and see what the first and most prominent things coming up for you are. I think as well, if we don't know our values and what's important to us and why we're doing things, and you know what I mean, like why we're showing up every day to work when we fucking hate it, why we're working out when we have no end goal, like when we don't actually know that, it really makes us detach from wanting to do it. So what I want you to really center into is what's popping up for the most for you there, what's most prominent, and then from there, what are your actual values and what's important to you, and where are they like misaligning between what you wrote on the page and like what you know in your head is really, really important to you. Go with that. I'm actually also going to put a guided reset into the broadcast. So at the time of listening to this, it will be in there. I'm not unsure if I'm going to write it. The text might be too long, but I might talk you guys through it. So you actually can go in to the broadcast, press play. I'm going to do a voice message, press play, and then you can listen to me and I will guide you through the breathwork side of it. Now, am I a professional? No, but I've been loving doing this and I just want to share it with you girls because it's like going to take probably 2 minutes of your time and you'll feel so much better after. That's in the after hours broadcast on the Instagram. It's just like when you go to my profile, it's right there and you'll be able to listen in and do that. I just want to leave you with something. I know this went in a few different directions, but I just want to remind you that taking a breath and entering into the state of overwhelm and then trying to exit it doesn't actually make anything wrong about you. We actually all feel this way as humans, and we all sometimes need to take a breather, and that is completely fine and normal. But if you've been feeling really overwhelmed and in a state for multiple weeks and you haven't done anything about it, you're going to stay in that state. You can't get out of that state unless you actively do something to do it. Hence why I'm telling you guys that you need to, come back to yourself, do a bit of a guided reset, relax everything, calm down, and also brain dump. You never know what's actually weighing on your mind specifically until you brain dump, and then you realize how things are so misaligned, how things are getting construed in your head, and like what's coming up for you. And sometimes you can come out of the brain dump and think, okay, I need to have a conversation with that friend. I need to talk to this person. I need to set this boundary in place. And that can actually stew for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And like I said, with the goal, like the check-in point for the goal setting, how many weeks have you spent sitting on these goals and not taking action yet because you've been feeling really overwhelmed and lots of things have been happening in your life? And like, same, I feel you, girl. Had so many things going on with the health and fitness and all the bullshit, which I'll give you the health update soon. But like, okay, I can sit in that, and I could have like said, yep, the last 8 to 10 weeks have been absolutely fucking shit. That's been all consuming. Or I can actually just say, yeah, it has been shit, but I've kept moving regardless. I'm still tracking along my goals. I'm still uploading the podcast weekly, doing the check-ins, doing this, doing that. You know what I mean? So just seeing yourself in that. I'm going to leave you there with that one, but go into the broadcast, listen to the reset, do it right now, or plan it into your calendar. Put it into your calendar for tonight. If you're like, okay, I'm out, girl, I'll do it later. This is super important. And just keeping in mind, like, you're not wrong for feeling this way. I feel like society is just so not built for females still in 2026. Yes, it's getting better, but still there's so much like woo-woo, like judgment around looking after yourself and taking a fucking breath. So I hope you enjoyed a bit of a weird one, but like I liked it. I'm literally sitting on my bedroom floor talking to my besties. So rate the podcast 5 stars if you did. Follow along so we can grow the podcast, and I will see you all in the next one for my health update. Mwah.